Hey folks, it's man once again, coming at you with another video. And I was gonna put this like a Blu-ray DVD update because I've gotten a lot of stuff thanks to people out there. But I was also gonna make it a vlog, but uh, I was gonna put in one video, but I thought that'd be a disservice to the people who sent me stuff. That way, instead of hearing me complain about, in a vlog about the entertainment industry, that way they could listen, to the stuff that they did, which was very kind. And so maybe I'll make that like a separate video. But few people want to thank, and who should be first? At least 3 people. Let's start with opening this package. Dustin Keckler, very nice guy. He sent me a few stuff, including, don't want to show the address. And he let me know what it was. And he's always been a nice guy. He's always been kind. Didn't have to send me anything, but he did to hear my opinions on, which I will. And just so you know, Dustin, if you watch this, even if I don't like the films, or if I don't, I still want to thank you because you didn't have to send me anything, but you did. So again, for anyone who's, I can't believe that people send me stuff. I just can't. If I don't like the film, I hope you don't take it personally. And of course, hopefully I like the film. But don't take it personally. It's nothing against. It's just on the film. Nothing against you. It's just I'm going to be honest on the film. But it's still, the gesture is nice. And again, you don't have to send me anything. No one ever has to send me anything. If I say stuff, it's usually over the top. Like, if I see the new Turtles, I want to be paid $100. I mean, that's over the top. No one would do that. I'm not worth that much money. It's just me being over the top and just on the situation. But seriously, no one ever has to send me anything. But, it happens, and it's humbling, and I'm greedy as fuck, so I will say yes. Unless it's like, well, I don't, I don't like it when people waste their money on me. It's like, oh, I already have that. I don't want to waste. I don't want you to waste your money sending, shipping and all the trouble and that. I feel bad for that. And I've been so lucky. Really, this year so far, movie-wise, I could probably count on one hand the amount of good movies I've seen. So it's been a shitty year for movies. The best part of the year has been you guys. Not just all the stuff I've been sent, which is a lot, but just, comments, and really you guys are the reason this year's been good so far. I mean, personal life-wise, it's been fine, which, to be honest, that's more important. That's the most important thing. So, but I'm just talking about, like, this wise, you guys have been the best part. Again, just even when you leave comments. But other than Dustin, he's always been kind. Thank you. And the stuff he had sent me is to check out. And again, I will review these as soon as I can for you, Dustin. Circuitry Man. I guess that's Vernon Wells as the bad guy. Also has Dennis Christopher in it. I guess from what I read up, I guess because again, I knew these were coming. I did a little bit of research before I did the video, which is a first. But apparently, I guess there's a very, very expensive. If you're a fan of this film, I guess there's a DVD that has both this and the sequel, and has commentary with Vernon Wells and others. So I guess if you're a hardcore fan, and if you find that for cheap, go for it. But I haven't seen these films, so I will give them a look. Circuitry Man 1, see how they are, and I will do reviews for them. And then in that package was from Hollywood DVD. I think this is a DVD from overseas, but I have a region-free DVD player, which is fine. Circuitry Man 2, Plughead Rewired, from the same director. And also has Vernon Wells. This has Tracy Lords in it. And Dennis Christopher comes back. So this is Circuitry Man 2, Plughead Rewired. I will give these a look and review them for you, Dustin. And then, because I had done these on my other channel, Rambo Rat Films, I do these terror trailers with my friend Mike, where we just do commentary on horror movie trailers. This had come up. I'm like, oh, this is sort of a more violent mummy movie. So I was curious about it, and he got me Dawn of the Mummy. They came from the dead to feast on the living. I guess because Dawn of the Dead was very popular among others. So it's like, okay, well, a mummy is pretty much a zombie. It's a dead guy getting up. Let's have Dawn of the Mummy. And weirdly enough, this actually has a director's commentary, which is crazy. But I'm curious to see how this goes. It's an R-rated mummy movie. I don't see too many R-rated mummy movies. Well, Talos the Mummy or whatever. The one that Russell Mulcahy did, I remember not liking it because I think Jason Scott Lee died at the end or did some depressing-ass ending. And Talos the Mummy, whatever the hell it was. Just remember being a depressing ending. And there's other stuff I didn't care for either. But I like The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. But of course, The Mummy and the Monster Squad and Waxwork, that was an R-rated. That's probably one of my favorite Mummy things is The Mummy 7 and Waxwork. But Dawn of the Mummy, sure, from Dawn of the Dead, I will definitely give a look, and I will review these 3 movies sometime very soon, Dustin. The second thing I want to thank is firstpower100. He sent me this. I'm sure he wanted me to do unboxing, packaging, but unfortunately, I fucked up. Sorry about that. I fucked up because I opened it, I got excited, I'm like, ooh, and then I'm like, oh shit, should have done unpackaging, but I fucked up. He had sent me another one, but he had sent me this Superman set, which was a 5-disc set, which I think came out recently for $10, and it has, I think, just the Superman extended cut, the Richard Donner cut, Superman 2, Superman 3, Superman 4, and Superman Returns. But he let me know that. But it was too late for me to let him know, oh, I have the Superman films, and I do have the Superman films. I have the Christopher Reeve set, which actually, if you're a Superman fan, I would highly suggest you go for the Christopher Reeve set instead of the 5 set for $10 that is at Best Buy or stuff. Only because the Christopher Reeve set, like the first movie alone, is a 4-disc set. Like the Superman, the first film, and that set that came out that's $10, that's only 1 disc. But again, the Superman and the Christopher Reeve, it's 4 disc. It's a 4-disc set. So you do a lot of stuff and documentaries from back in the day and cartoons of the Fleischer. So the Christopher Reeve set is definitely the one to get. I don't know if it's out of print or something. I hope not. And then the Superman 2, it's a 2-disc, and that's the theatrical cut. And I'll be honest, I've always been more of a fan of the theatrical cut. I was never a fan of the Richard Donner cut. I never was. Because, the Richard Donner cut, ending the same way with fucking going around the world again, which was my problem in the first Superman movie. That's one of the only problems I have, because it's a cheap... I know, because they were supposed to be... The 2 movies were supposed to be one, and that was supposed to be the actual ending, but because they had to split them up, and I understand that, but I don't like that. And I don't like taking out that cool line, General, would you like to step outside? They took that out of the Richard Donner cut, which pissed me off, because I think that's one of Superman's best lines in any of the movies. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the Richard Donner cut. I know most people, that's blasphemy, but I'll review them and I'll check the Superman. But anyway, the reason I brought that up is, if he's watching, I sent him a message on this. I returned it to Best Buy, and if he's watching, they said they put it back on the PayPal because I felt bad because this guy spent money on something I already had. I had the Christopher Reeve set. I had the Superman movies, so I wanted him to get his money back. Like, I didn't want to keep the money for myself. This guy has got me shitload upon shitload upon shitload stuff that he didn't have to do at all, like out of the blue. Well, I'm sending you something, really? A lot of stuff. So I really want to, if he's watching, I send him a message too. If you somehow watch this firstpower100, let me know if you get that. If not, I'll get you the $10 myself, because, they say it's on your PayPal, but please let me know. If not, because I don't want to rip him off. It's like, he didn't know I had the Superman set, but I had, to be honest, the better set. not the $10 set. But I want to make sure he gets his money back, and again, just let me know. But anyway, saying all, it was still a very nice gesture. I feel bad. I don't want to just take it and keep it for a Richard Donner cut when I'm not a fan of it, and I could just see that online. I'd rather not open it and let him get his money back. Just, he deserves that. To me, he deserves that respect. Because you look on my videos, he has sent a shitload to me, a shitload. But and then like this one, The Raid 2. Which I've heard so much good things about this film that I'm a bit worried. Because, look, one of the greatest action movies ever made. Thrilling, the wow factor is off the charts. I know one good guy on here, Dram707, Jose, mentioned that the action scenes were really good, but it's 2.5 hours, and that the story sucked, and that it was a very sluggish pace. Because he reviewed this, he's like, the action scenes are good, but it's not as good as the first Raid, and the pacing and the story and its characters are not that good. And that's what I was worried about. That was going to try to be The Departed, and apparently it's trying to be The Departed. I like The Departed okay, but it's not like a favorite movie of mine. I didn't want The Raid to be a Departed type movie. I mean, the thing is, this has been hyped so much as one of the best movies ever, that I'm like, how the hell can it live up to it? So I'm trying to go in with ultra low expectations, but this 2.5 hour running time is very leery for me. I don't think movies like these need to be 2.5 hours, but I will give it a look and then you will see my review, because I think I reviewed the first film, The Raid. In fact, well, I have a computer, why don't I just look it up? I believe I have reviewed The Raid Redemption. I'll just look it up. I'll just go to YouTube. I just type in The Raid, my username. Yep, I reviewed it a year ago. The Raid Redemption movie review. So it's still up. Maybe if I review it, I'll put that link down below, because it's a 19-minute review, so it's still on my channel. But I will watch this and I will give it a review. I will be honest. But I've heard so many great things about this, I'm a little bit leery. People compare this to The Dark Knight and The Godfather Part 2, and I'm not really the biggest fan of those movies either. So, we will see. But still, a lot of people have been asking me for this one. A lot of people. So, this one will definitely get reviewed probably sometime soon. Probably sometime soon. Then the next one I want to thank was this guy, which I have a note right here. I don't say his whole name because maybe he doesn't want that. It's a username Mannygatillo, aka Victor. I'm not going to say the rest of his name. He says, "Happy birthday, my friend. May God bless you with many more. Enjoy your gifts." And these are fantastic gifts, because he pre-ordered a bunch of stuff for me, and that's insane. And they all came in now, because some of them didn't come out till July. And it was 5 things. 5. Not 1 or 2, 5 things. No one ever has to do that for me. Unless I'm being a greedy jackass. Like, please do it. But, look at this. And 2 of these, I've already reviewed some of this. But NonStop on Blu-ray, which I watched this again. I still really enjoy this film. It's not everyone's cup of tea, because it's not an action film. It's more of like a Hitchcockian thriller on a plane. I thought Liam Neeson did a really good job, and I did a review for this. It's not an action film, but I like the mystery, I like the story, I like where it took place on a plane. I like it better than Flight Plan with Jodie Foster. But Jodie Foster, honestly, that one I was a little bit harsh on. I don't think I reviewed it, but I thought it's an okay film, but I like this film more. And, I like NonStop. I thought it's, of course, not as good as Taken, but I think since Taken, this is the first film I liked of Liam Neeson that I liked. Because I didn't like Taken 2, I didn't like The Grey, I didn't like Unknown, but I did like this one, NonStop. And this one, which I reviewed, which this was awesome, because I had Rewind this, and he got this for me, and I reviewed this. Adjusted Tracking, 2-disc collector's edition. You can check out my review of this. It's on the channel, but I really enjoyed this. If you're at all into the VHS culture, I think this is definitely worth a look. Really enjoyed this, so thank you. This is a show that has grown on me, but I still have problems with it. But it has grown on me, and it looks like, well, it looks like an Oscar contender next to the movie coming out. But that is the new set of the new show. This is the next installment. And this actually has that Slash and Destroy, which I actually thought was the best episode they had so far. Corey Feldman as the voice of Slash. But this is a show that's grown on me. I think one thing, though, I don't like is this is like the April Donnie / Leo Karai show. And Raph and Mighty, who are my two favorites, are kind of like in the background. But at least so far. But that's just me. But I mean, there's other stuff I don't care for. But overall, it's grown on me. The voice actors, which funny enough, the guy who voiced Leo, Jason Bates, got fired. Then they don't say, but he got fired. And Seth Green is now going to be the voice of Leo. Jason Bates got fired because he was being an idiot on his Twitter and shit. But, you know, that's hush-hush. They won't admit it. He's got other commitments, yeah. Sure. And, but I don't care for Sean Astin's voice of Raph. But the other voices have grown on me. And, you know, I don't care for April and Splinter. And I don't know. Will I ever do a review for this? I don't know. But, because I don't know how to review shows unless, you know, Kolchak and the 2003 cartoon of the Ninja Turtles. Those are I grew up with and need a passion when you review a whole TV series. But still thanking for this. These guys look like Ninja Turtles, and I know this is really two-faced to me because I shit on this a lot when it came out. Because I still enjoy the 2003 cartoon the best, the most. The biggest, the best, better than the rest. But when you see something worse, like you see them look like chuds, like literally the new movie, they are cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. They are. These don't look as bad. Oh shit, I broke my arm. That's bad. But then I got my leg cut off. Oh shit, you know, the broken arm isn't as bad as my leg getting cut off, so sometimes that happens. And then recently, these two, which were really cool, the Stream Factory Blu-rays, which I guess Stream Factory are being cheap as motherfuckers because they don't have slip cases in these. So they're being cheap as shit. But, well, it's not that big of a deal. But I'm just saying, they used to have slip cases on everything, and now they don't, but whatever. But anyway, the final terror for my slasher film collection, which I'm trying to grow, the 80s slasher film collection. There's so many, though. I mean, there's what? The 2-disc of Just Before Dawn, I want to get one day. And there's fucking, I think Synapse come out with curtains. If you're a fan of Prom Night, the original, Synapse is coming out with a Blu-ray that is cleaned up and has features. I think it's only on Blu-ray, though, which is fine for me, but not for some. But I really want to get that, Prom Night. And Curtains I've heard of. So, you know, I've heard of it. I mean, I did it for my slasher film collection. And this is directed by Andrew Davis. The same guy who going to direct Code of Silence and Above the Law and Under Siege and Collateral Damage directed this. And holy shit, there is a commentary with Andrew Davis. So that's interesting. Like, and then interviews with actors Adrian Zemed, Lewis Smith, post-production supervisor Alan Holtzman, composer Susan Justin, a trailer. And right, I haven't seen this, but I was interested because it also has Rachel Ward's in it, Daryl Hannah, Joel Pantoliano. There's a slasher film in the woods, and it's directed by Andrew Davis. So this is one they had stuff on YouTube, but it was so fucking dark, couldn't see, so it's like I would rather see this, and I really thanked him for this, and this was brand new. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, if you're wondering. And this is what the inside looks like, in case people are interested. See it so you can look more. I think that's actually a pretty. I think that's the original cover. That's a. Well, actually, this doesn't even really. Does that really say anything about the movie? This cover, if you think about it, it takes place in the woods and there's no trees on the cover. You know, it looks like it's. I don't know, teens running from gangs. Like really, it's like teens are running from gang members or body snatchers or something. But what do I know? Still looks better than any of their covers today. And then this was really awesome, and that is Southern Comfort. Shout Factory just came out with this. I had this on a bare bones DVD, and this is the one thing about I wish there was a slipcover, because it's one of those that has two covers, and I wish like I could have one cover on one, take it off, and have the other cover on the other. Because there's this cover they made, which I think it's a decent cover, it has all the cast on there. And then this is the original cover, which I think I'm going to use this because it's more simple, but I don't mind this. This looks a little too busy though, but I'll probably go with the simpler one. It was a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, and this also has about a 27-minute documentary with new interviews with Powers Booth, Keith Carradine, Lewis Smith, and director Walter Hill, outtakes, and a trailer. I think there's somewhere else that has like a commentary or maybe like a interview, a really long interview with Walter Hill himself. But I'm fine with this because at first I get to have the film on Blu-ray, which is cool. I get to have a documentary that Powers Booth, Keith Carradine, and such talk about the film, and it's a really cool cover. It's better than the DVD cover. The DVD cover is pretty much Keith Carradine and Powers Booth just moving, just but this is really cool. I really love Southern Comfort. This is a film I really want to review sometime. I do think it kisses shit. This is not since Deliverance. I think this kisses shit out of Deliverance. In fact, of these kind of movies, this is one of my favorites. I think Southern Comfort is the land of hospitality unless you don't belong there. I just think this kisses shit out of Deliverance. I also really like one that my friend Mike sent me. I want to review sometime called Rituals with Hal Holbrook. It was also known as The Creeper, but Rituals is a better title. That's another one. I don't have the official DVD because it's co-red and it's fucking out of print, expensive as shit. But thankfully my friend Mike sent me a DVD-R of it, and I watching it again. I really enjoyed Rituals. So that's another film I want to review sometime. But I have so many other movies to get to. But Southern Comfort, very cool. So Mannygatillo, Victor, very kind of him. I want to try to send these videos out, but the fucking sending the videos is shitty on YouTube now, so I think it'd be best just to message them, and hopefully YouTube and this changing shit, they did it. And I did grab a couple other things. I did grab a magazine, Horror Fan, but to be honest, this was a lame magazine. I can't understand why these guys went out of business. They did do preview on the horror show, and they talked about how there was another director and something happened. So, like, during a weekend, Jim Isaac got the call to be the director. And then, yeah, a little bit on Leviathan, but they talk a little bit about it, but it's not much. I mean, they talk a little bit about the effects, which is cool. I know Leviathan has a couple features, that Blu-ray. Interview with Ernie Hudson and Hector Elizondo, and then Alec Gillis, Tom Woodward Jr. So I know it's better than nothing. These reviews are horseshit. I mean, it's their opinion, but the Blob 1988 review. This is their review for the Blob from 1988. I wanted to share this. Didn't Chuck Russell, who helmed the Superior Elm Street 3, read the script before accepting the assignment? Did he have a script? This disappointing sequel clearly misses the mark. He called the Blob remake a sequel. The Blob remake is a sequel. apparently. I didn't know that. Did you know that? The Blob remake is a disappointing sequel. The Blob, 1988. That's not a picture from the movie. That's from Deathstalker above, but The Blob from 1988 is a sequel, apparently. I did not know that. The original Blob exploited our primal fears of the unknown and the intangible. The remake loses its predecessor's anxiety. The Blob is no longer an enigma, but a germ warfare experiment gone awry. It's no longer a nebulous amoebic entity with a serpentine talent to slither through cracks, but literally a wet blanket that lumbers smack into buildings like a town drunk. Does this guy even watch the movie? Name one scene where it goes around like a drunk. You mean when it came out of the sink and grabbed a guy and pulled him down into and his head into a sink? The gruesome Blob swallows up every cardboard character and cliche that the screenwriters serve up. Cardboard characters? Kevin Dillon and Shawnee Smith. Kevin Dillon, who's a rebel, but he's got a good heart to him. Shawnee Smith, who is not a ditzy cheerleader. She's got some strength, a little bit of Ellen Ripley to her. Those are cardboard characters. Even the sheriff, Jeffrey DeMone, who, if he was a cardboard character, he'd be like, "Oh, I don't believe you, Kevin Dillon. You're a bad kid." No, he's smart. He's like, "There's not a drop of blood on him. Let him go. This is bullshit." The film's substantial budget is one of its liabilities. Lavish, though unconvincing Blob effects prevail. The Blob effects are unconvincing? So when that guy got pulled down into the sink, or when Candy Clark met her demise in a phone booth, that was unconvincing? The original stressed a vulnerable urban atmosphere just right for the title monster's unpredictable limited appearances. Producers took the reverse turn of an old adage, trying to invent a bigger Blob rather than a better Blob. Bill George. George, you're full of shit. I know it's mean for me to say it's his opinion, but people say it to me all the time, so fuck it. Your opinion is full of shit. So, I feel like I kind of wasted my money on this. But this is one I saw on eBay. I rarely shop eBay. But, hey, at least it has this on there. And I was curious about it, and, you know. And the only other things I got was, I think I showed this before, the Stage Fright. Got this actually pretty cheap, because I guess a Blu-ray's coming out of this, so I got this for a fairly cheap price. Stage Fright. Again, for my slasher film collection. I think it's the same director who would go on to direct The Church, which I haven't seen, but I've heard good things. And also Cemetery Man, which I saw once and I don't remember, except a fucking snow globe at the end. But I've heard a lot of good things about this Stage Fright. That's the guy who is a protege to Dario Argento. For this very stylish slasher film, so I will give it a look sometime. And I never buy VHSs, but I said, fuck it, this is one of my favorites of all time. Just for collector's sake. And I never buy VHS, ever. But I did get the Leviathan VHS. I mean, I'm a sucker for the film. You know, that's one of the main reasons why I got that magazine. I never buy VHS. But again, this is just for collectors. Because I'm a sucker for the film. And I gotta say, the back is very bland. Like, there's nothing on the back except this. Like, it's just a lame back. But it's weird showing a VHS in the year 2014. But the true meaning of fear. I mean, hell, I got the poster right there. But I didn't. Fuck it. I love the film. For collector's sake, fuck it. I rarely buy VHS tapes anymore, but like I said, fuck it. By the way, well, I'll mention this for anyone who has survived the 30 minutes. And one last thing. There's the Ninja Turtle documentary, The Turtle Power. I had pre-ordered it. and I canceled it. Like, well, why did you cancel it? This is something that you look forward to for 5 years. Because it's a bunch of bullshit. Finding out that this is now, granted, I'm sure there's a lot of good stuff on there, but I'm not paying $24 for only a 90-some minute documentary that has nothing else on the DVD. That's the same price I paid for Never Sleep Again, and that had 8 hours of content. And they're like, well, we held stuff back because we want to do a volume 2 and a volume 3 and a v. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck that. I'll just find, hopefully I'll be lucky to find a download, a torrent. If someone finds it, feel free to let me know. I'll watch it on there, or I'll download it and watch it on my computer. Well, it's like, Matt, come on. No, here's why. It's the original comics, the action figures, the first cartoon, the first movie, and then Coming Out of the Shells tour. I was going to say this for a vlog, but fuck it. Coming Out of the Shells tour. And then the end. Again, I'm sure there's good stuff about it. I'm sure there's a lot of good stuff about the first cartoon. I'm sure there's a lot of good stuff on the first movie. But there's nothing on that disc coming out in August. There's nothing on the 2003 cartoon. The Next Mutation, which they didn't film anything. You know what? I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna say that for maybe a vlog somewhere, just sort of letting off some steam. Because, like I said, this is about the good stuff. This is not about that. So maybe that'll be like a cliffhanger. Who knows? If anyone survived this long, you want to hear me bitch about it, feel free to let me know. If not, then I'm done with it. But this is more about thanking these guys for being kind enough, and they didn't have to do that. So thank you to Dustin Keckler, thank you to Victor, Mannygatillo, and thank you firstpower100. Again, if you're listening, if you're watching, please let me know if you got that in your PayPal, because I don't want you being ripped off. But again, thank you all for watching. Take care, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.